Hi, I'm Attorney Ben Schwartz, and today we're going to answer a viewer question from Paul in Rehoboth, Delaware. Or actually, I should say Paul from the DC area. He's got a question about an injury that occurred in Rehoboth, Delaware. Paul wrote in, he said, I had an accident, a slip and fall type of accident in a rental home in Rehoboth, Delaware, and we're out of the rental home. I guess it was a vacation rental. How do I get back in to figure out what caused me to fall? And this is a very common question in slip and fall type of injuries, premises liability, trip and fall, accident injury cases. And that is that when you have the accident, you're not really focused on what caused you to fall or what caused you to have this injury. You're focused on the pain that you're in. You may be incapacitated as a result of the trauma. 911 is called. The EMTs come and they take you away and you're in the hospital, and maybe you have serious injuries, maybe you have surgery, maybe you don't go back to the place where the accident happened. And as a result, you're not in a position to figure out what caused you to have the accident. Then later you go to an attorney and you say, I had an accident and I'd like to maybe consider bringing a claim or a lawsuit for my personal injuries. And the attorney says, well, if you don't know how you fell, if you don't know what defect in the property caused you to fall, we don't know if you have a case, if you have a right to sue, because you have a right to sue based on the negligence, the defective condition of the premises. And so as a plaintiff, the lawyer is going to be looking to you to figure out what was the defective condition. The lawyer is going to be looking to you, the injured plaintiff or the injured claimant, to say, here's what happened and this is why I fell. So if you're out of the home and you can't get back in and you don't know what the defect was specifically that caused you to fall, that's a real problem in the evaluation of a personal injury case. It's a real problem for your attorney, who is probably trying to decide if it's a case or if it's not a case to be pursued, and give you legal advice in that regard. To get back into the rental home, you could contact the property manager or the owner of the home, and you could say, I had an injury, I'm considering making a claim, I would like to have access to the home so that I could come in and do an inspection and take some photographs and videotape. Maybe they'll let you in, maybe they won't. They're not required to do that. If you go to an attorney, the attorney might do the same thing. The attorney might contact the landlord or the rental agent or the owner and say, we're representing Paul and we want to come in and we want to do what's called a site inspection, take some photos and videotape. Will you please let us in? And maybe they'll let us in and maybe they won't. You could file a lawsuit, and then after the lawsuit is filed and after the defendants, the property owner, the manager has been served with the lawsuit papers, you could file a motion with the court to compel the property owner to give you access, to let you in to come do a site inspection and take your photos and videotape and figure out if there's a property defect or not. Of course, the problem with that is now you're spending money on a lawsuit. It costs hundreds of dollars to file a lawsuit. That's just the court fees, not counting the attorney's fees. And it's kind of hard to make the decision that you're going to spend that kind of money when you don't know that you have a property defect, if you're just doing this to find out if there's a property defect. But those are the options. I think that this is, more than anything, this is a cautionary tale. If you are watching this video and you or a family member or a friend has sustained an injury in a rental or on property, before you leave, if you're able to, before you exit the property, if you're able to, you should take some pictures or take some video. Everyone has video. Everyone has camera phones these days that take pretty sharp video. Take some pictures, take some video, try and document what the condition is, and that way you're not stuck behind the 8 ball, not able to get access back into the rental unit and not being able to figure out what caused the injuries and whether there was a defective condition. I think it's a cautionary tale, and it's a good thing that we talked about it. I think people out there watching this video need to know that if you've had an injury, if you're able, while you have control over the premises, while you have access to the premises, get your pictures and your videos so that the lawyer has something to evaluate to determine whether there was negligence or carelessness or a defective condition created by the landowner, the property owner, the rental owner, the management company. Thanks for watching. I'm Ben Schwartz from the law firm of Schwartz & Schwartz. If you have questions for me about personal injury, litigation, lawsuits, your legal rights, send me an email. My email address is ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com.